Alright everyone, welcome back to another episode of the F123 Driver Career Mode with Alpine. This is episode 52 today for the Spanish Grand Prix of Season 4. If you missed the previous episode at Imola, I recommend you go on and check that one out because, spoiler, we finally got our first points on the board and a second place. Thanks to Alex Albon having a puncture and somebody else retiring from the race as well. Puts us in a good place, P4, and we're going to keep rolling on with it because here comes that ultimate weight reduction upgrade. We are 9th, the slowest, the second slowest in the Sashi, so we need these upgrades to move the car forward. We have got some time, some brake upgrades to come on the car as well, but obviously the focus after this will be engine power. We've got an ultimate engine power upgrade, an ultimate ERS upgrade that are sort of next on the list, but we don't quite have enough. We don't have enough R&D points to be able to purchase those yet, but we have got quite a lot of fast tracks coming as we've got a wet start to the race. Well, no, this could be interesting. I mean, we performed well in the rain previously. Where was it? I forget where it was. It was Australia, I think it was, when it was in the rain, if memory serves me correctly. R&D wise, nothing for us, which is annoying. But Mercedes have closed the gap to Ferrari. Red Bull and Aston Martin closed the gap to McLaren. So we've still got a little bit of progress to make, but I'm sure we can, we're in that area where we can get ultimate upgrades on. Hopefully, these final ultimate upgrades will shoot us to the top. We've already got one podium this season, Porsche had a good race, qualifying last time out. Unfortunately, it's not quite going so much to plan here at Spain. Yes, I don't again, this is another case where a track that could have been good on F122 isn't so good for me on F123. It's a bit weird, like that. It was like Jeddah, cracking track on F122. It seems to be a bit miserable on F123. And they've made that change as well over in the final corner, which, to be fair, has it really improved it? Well, F1 thinks no, because we moved to Madrid. Anyway, I've talked through my lap. Apologies about that. I mean, it is Spain. You have seen me do laps around here 1,000 times, although we have made some changes. There's obviously the turn 10, which, to be fair, I feel like you could do more overtaking on previous games there than on this year's game. As we go through then this sort of old section and then through to the final corner, which is a slight lift. And up to the line then. Can this be an improvement? Come on, please. And you're near the top? No, it's P14. To be fair, we're near Porsche, which is actually not too bad. Because, there's a half a second offset as Alex Albon. The McLaren 1-2. I mean, it's just like the Red Bull 1-2. Alfa Romeo, I don't know what they're cooking, but, they're up in 7th and 8th. They're having a good time of it. I think we can definitely get some points from here. It's not the end of the world, so we'll see what we can do from 14th on the grid. It's time for the race. It's time for the Spanish Grand Prix from Barcelona. So, interestingly, Oscar Piastri has a penalty. So, he starts right in front of us. Unfortunately, not there. You can see it's only light rain for a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, after the strategy, what happens after that? We'll have to wait and see. It depends when this rain comes to a close. But first of all, then, 5 red lights, the Spanish Grand Prix from 14th on the grid, and away we go. And it's the usual miserable start in the rain, because I can never get a good start in the rain. As well as Djokovic gets past. We're going to take the outside route then into turn 1. Can we get past Djokovic? Having a look at Porsche as well. We'll come back to Djokovic is still there though on the inside. And again, I'm trying to turn defence into attack, but we've run out of room. A bit of understeer there as you just went right. And there's a bit of tight line to myself and Djokovic. And again, we've gone really wide, but we are going to cut back in. We are going to get Djokovic here. And now we're going to have a look down the inside then of our teammate Teo Porsche and move up to P13. So it could have been better, it could have been worse though. As well, meanwhile up the road, that is Leclerc. He's been overtaken by Esteban Ocon. As well, Ferrari need to get a move on with upgrades, otherwise, you know, they're going to be outperformed by Alfa Romeo, who seem to have a very good car this year. As well, now we're going to do the same what we did on Porsche to Norris. Down the inside, lovely little move up to P12. So we start to make a little bit of progress. Next up is Piastri. He's trying to get past Leclerc. It's actually Lawson, I think. No, it was Leclerc actually with Ocon. Excuse me. As well, they're going side by side. Can we capitalise as well? No, Leclerc cuts in. Now we just need to make sure that we keep the title line. But again, he's just been able to get the power down. The Alfa is very quick in a straight line, as it's the car we did develop, of course, in Season 2. We haven't looked on the outside, but I think we're going to do the same again. It's a double dive-on this time. 2 in 1. We just sent it on Piastri. You know, it was going. You know, he wasn't too. He was not too far ahead. You know, we just got to send it and, you know, try and make as many positions up as quickly as possible. Piastri actually came out for that in the end, and actually, the fact that Leclerc's going to come back at him now. As well, but Piastri will have the outside, which will then turn to the inside, and he's able to force Leclerc out. So Piastri is still ahead of Leclerc, but he's now behind us, so he hasn't actually made up any position. Meanwhile, up the road, Lawson is battling with Verstappen. We don't really know where that Red Bull truly is, because it is suffering from a lack of engine wear and a bit of tyre wear in it as well. That's suffering as well. So we've now got a lovely little switchback move on Ocon. Can we get De Vries? No, we got very wide. Ocon's going to come back at us here. We're going to try and squeeze the Frenchman to the inside. We're past up to P9. We're not going to get De Vries though, because although it might not look like it, it's actually time for some dry tyres. Again, you know, the wet weather really needs an overhaul on this game, but there we go. Hopefully that does happen for F124. That's weird. 2.2 seconds stop, but we've been held in the pits. Mark thinks it's a good stop. It's a terrible stop. We definitely lost a position. We seem to have gained. We're only just ahead of Leclerc. I think we've gained on De Vries. I think De Vries has lost out big time. But, you know, obviously that was a big hole, and we've actually lost out to Piastri there. So that is not good. You know, I was hoping to try and have Piastri through and, you know, just trade DRS with him, but he's just going to run away. He's done a 15.2, we've done a 15.8 on our mediums. Speaking of which, we are rolling the strategy a little bit, dice with strategy. I feel like, because everyone is going on hards, especially these two, the top three, we're all on hard tyres. My original thought was, if they're going to the end of the race, we can, you know, have those fresher soft tyres at the end, be 2 steps softer and have much fresher tyres. As we're now going to get Lawson here and move up to P7. So that was my plan. A few others, though, of course, making a second stop, like Norris, Sainz. Of course, we know how terrible Ferrari's tyre wear is on this game. You know, and that's actually a bit of back end loss there for Sainz. You can see Piastri is up in P4 right now. So yeah, we're going to have a look on Sainz. Can't make it through here. Can we have a look? Get this again a bit wide there at that final corner, just not under the grip there. And now we're just going to have DRS on side, so we're going to move to the racing line. Sainz moves to the inside, and then we cut him off. He takes a bit of curb, but we're up to P6. And Oscar Piastri then is coming in. He was a hard tyre runner, So hang on, are the hard tyre riders going to pit as well for a second time? As well, we'll have to wait and see. Porsche might not, Alpine, we have got probably one of the best tyre wear on the grid. He might not pit, but a few others might also choose to just try and string it out on those hards. So they will be easy picking. So potentially we're doing a split strategy here at Alpine as well. Meanwhile, Alex Albon has got some engine issues, and that's such a shame for Albon, because obviously this is going to affect the championship, because Russell has gone past the DRS and takes the lead then of the Spanish Grand Prix as Felipe Drugovich has had an engine failure. His Ford engine has decided it doesn't want to take part anymore. Yeah, that's unfortunate for Albon. They actually catch an Albon, you can see already by that 23, we're coming into the pits now. Tsunoda is really catching us. Porsche is actually catching us. His hard tyres are not wearing too badly, but we will now have the freshest tyres of all. I don't think we're going to set fastest lap. As Verstappen says, 1:11.8. That is just pure Verstappen. We're going to come up behind Lawson. We're going to come up behind Norris. Yes, we are. It's P10. So it's not the end of the world, but I would have liked to be in a few positions higher, maybe where Lawson is, or just behind him. But to be fair, we are going to catch up by lap 28 to Lawson and Norris. Norris has just overtaken Lawson with DRS, so Lawson's tyres must be going on. Obviously Norris used the mediums earlier. He's now on the hards compared to, I think we're the only, compared to Lawson, who had the hards earlier in the mediums to finish, as we're going to send down the inside of the Kiwi and up to P9 as well. And then lap 30, DRS on Norris, and we're just going to blast past. I think the setup, it's a bit tricky here in Catalunya. You want to have those low wings, but for the straight. But obviously, it's just a compromise then for the middle sector. Really, I haven't found that. I don't think I found that balance today. But I'm able to get past sights here. Can we have a look down we're not going to have a look down the inside the final corner, so we're going to just sit behind and then just blast past then with some DRS. I mean, I'd love to have gotten in the final sector, but yes, the overtaking opportunities there are now null or void. As that is Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki's back up on the podium. It's been a better race than qualifying for Tsunoda after he qualified P9. Albon still struggling with those engine issues, as that is also our second retiree, Zhou Guanyu. He's going very slowly down the pit straight. Could that be a safety car? That would be nice, closes up. I'd love a safety car. Alas, no. So the only overtake we're going to get is on our teammate. Same place we've made it the first time on lap 1. And Teo, to be fair, has done well, but by the end of the lap he's 2.7 seconds behind. Yeah, a bit of a difficult one. Hindsight, we could have taken those mediums to the end. We would have had high tyre where I think Tsunoda would have probably overtaken him. But we were also catching Albon, but probably not enough. Probably been at 50%. It's just like, it was a gamble we were willing to pay off. I didn't foresee when I made the call that a lot of the other hard runners would go and make a second stop. That I did not see, but in the end, it's not the end of the world. It is P6. Probably, I mean, we're not in this championship. The first two, not scoring the first two races, has really killed that. Piastri's lead has been cut, but not as much as Albon would have liked. So the gap is 22 points. We're 51 points behind. So yeah, we're not even close to winning races yet, really. I think a few more upgrades in this car can start challenging. Porsche as well. Is there or thereabouts. He just needs to have not really suffering with hards. Yeah, but we're 4 points behind Ferrari, who had a poor race as well. So yeah, it was a lot better than Ferrari's race, because Ferrari, Sainz only scored for 4 points, and Ocon was 13th. So yes, we're slowly catching up with Ferrari. Mercedes as well. Norris didn't have the best of race. Russell did win, to be fair. So that was the pace that Russell showed today. Other than in Australia, he's actually having a very good season. You know, this is much more the 2022 George Russell than what we've seen lately, although excluding Bahrain qualifying, but what we saw in 2023. Piastri, I think, that's probably, damage limitation. Albon, he only lost 6, but the fact that he only lost 6 points, Albon's still yet to win, and he would have probably will be a lot closer had he not had that puncher in Imola. So yeah, the next race is in Canada. Not the best track on this game for me. But then we've got Austria and Britain. That's when we are hoping to capitalise, and hopefully we'll have an engine upgrade on as well, which should give us some more power. Especially for Austria, it's a sprint race. That's a good chance to get some decent points there. Hopefully Canada and Austria, both of those episodes hopefully be out next week. So yeah, until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, enjoy your day, and goodbye.